Okay, folks, buckle up. Today, we delve into another fascinating look at the Mandela Effect, but this time with a different twist. Get ready for a wild ride. You scroll TikTok and hear a song you swear used to exist, but it's gone. You remember a Netflix series everyone talked about in 2021, but now, no trace. You Google it, nothing. Reddit, wiped. Even Wayback's Machine, like, nope. But you remember. And the weirdest of all, thousands of other people do too. The Mandela Effect used to be about movie quotes and serial logos, but now it's digital, it's live. We're not just forgetting history, it feels like we're watching it change in real time. So, what's happening to our memories? It's as if someone is editing the code of reality. So, what's happening? Are our brains glitching out, or is something rewriting the timeline? Because if my previous Mandela videos were about memory, this one is about control. Now, what follows explores speculative theories and internet culture for discussion. It's not intended as fact. The rise of digital-first Mandela effects. In the early days, Mandela effects were mostly tied to the analog world, logos, movies, historical events. But since 2020, something's changed. Now they're showing up exclusively online, born and spread through digital culture. No paper trail, no physical record, just memory. Take the infamous Netflix horror series from 2021 that supposedly starred a girl who wakes up every morning in a different version of reality. Some remember it as Parallax, others as the actress. Hundreds on Reddit claim they binge-watched it. They remember the theme song, the title font, even specific episodes. But it doesn't exist. No IMDb page, no Netflix history, nothing in Google's cache, just people who remember it together. Or how about Nightshade Academy? And Nightshade Academy was never a real game. It was a fictional creation that emerged from a TikTok meme trend. That trend exploded in 2022 with people sharing memories of a gothic RPG they played as teens. Characters, quests, soundtracks, it was all there. Except Nightshade Academy, it never existed. It was fictional. There's no game, not even a mod, just endless TikToks convincing each other it had to be real. Then there's the supposed Rihanna Super Bowl baby announcement in 2022. Thousands remember it vividly, Rihanna revealing her pregnancy mid-performance. Except she didn't perform in 2022's Super Bowl. She performed and announced this in 2023's Super Bowl. These aren't legacy effects resurfacing. These are Mandela effects native to the internet. Ephemeral, viral, and strangely communal. So, what's going on? Some say it's collective storytelling. When a single idea spreads fast enough, memes, trends, TikToks, it starts to feel real. Others suggest it's a symptom of our overstimulated brains misfiring in unison, shared hallucinations triggered by screens. But then there's a darker theory, that we're not remembering fake things. Some speculate these are memories from a version of reality that hypothetically could have been overwritten. Okay, quick reality check. If you've ever been 100% sure that a show existed only to find out it never did, you're not alone. Now, this new wave of Mandela effects, they're not hand-me-downs from your childhood. They're made online, spread through TikTok threads, Discord debates, and meme templates that move faster than your brain can fact-check. Now, sure, maybe we're just highly suggestible. The internet is basically a simulation inside a simulation. We want to believe cool stuff is real. But when thousands of people all vividly remember something that never existed, it gets weird. Are we just crowdsourcing our delusions, or did some digital janitor go back and sweep a few files out of the timeline? And sidebar, if Nightshade Academy does ever get made, I want some royalties. Now, let's keep going, because this rabbit hole, it just keeps opening. AI hallucinations are becoming reality glitches. In early 2023, someone asked ChatGPT about an obscure 80s horror film called The Harvesting. Now, this is a fabricated film, a known example of AI hallucination. The AI confidently described it, a haunted farmhouse, a possessed scarecrow, and even the name of the director. It sounded real. A Reddit thread blew up. People remembered watching it. Quotes, scenes, the VHS cover. Only problem? It never existed. ChatGPT made the whole movie up. The Harvesting never existed. AI language models sometimes generate fictional content when asked about obscure topics. Now, these hallucinations aren't intentional, they're a known limitation of the technology. But then came the images. Mid-Journey users started generating fake 90s toys like Glitch Pals and Grunge Trolls. These toys, Glitch Pals and Grunge Trolls, were entirely AI-generated fakes and never existed. But in the comments, people swore they had these toys as kids. Some even argued over what colors they came in. Total memory meltdown. And this wasn't just nostalgia gone wrong. This phenomenon is sometimes referred to as memory seeding, where media, even unintentionally, inspires collective false memories. Even weirder, once it spreads far enough online, it becomes self-reinforcing. Videos pop up, reviews appear, and boom, you've got an entire false memory webbed across the internet. A reality born from hallucination. Experts call this confabulation, when the brain fills in gaps to make sense of things. But now, these gaps are being pre-filled by machines. Here's the dangerous twist. AI doesn't just answer questions anymore. It writes scripts, makes videos, generates voices, creates images. It's producing culture. And with every new hallucination, it becomes harder to separate fact from fiction. What happens when enough people believe in something that never was? When the internet forgets it was fake in the first place? The Mandela Effect 3 isn't just a memory glitch. It's a side effect of synthetic creativity, a timeline fork not caused by error, but by imagination gone viral. While these AI tools don't intentionally deceive, some worry that their creative outputs are starting to blend with our memories in unexpected ways. Okay, time out. If AI starts hallucinating whole movies and I start remembering them, yeah, that's when I unplug my router and go and live in the woods. But seriously, this isn't just about bad memory. Some speculate AI may be influencing our collective memories, accidentally or otherwise. You used to need trauma or hypnosis to do that. Now, just a convincing mid-journey carousel on X. Ugh, Twitter, I hate saying X. The real mind-bender is, what if a million people misremember the same thing at the same time? Is it still wrong, or did it just become right? At this rate, AI isn't just predicting our future, it's ghostwriting our past. All I'm saying is, if AI ever tells you there was a 1994 Garfield reboot called Lasagna Wars, don't believe it, unless it slaps. The algorithm is erasing the past. Here's a wild idea. What if the Mandela Effect isn't a glitch in our minds, but a feature of the algorithm? In the last 5 years, we've started relying almost entirely on the internet to remember things for us. But digital memory isn't permanent, it's curated, and it's being rewritten constantly. YouTube thumbnails get changed without warning. Captions are rewritten by AI. TikTok remixes obliterate the original context of trends within days. Sometimes entire videos vanish, either deleted or automatically updated for copyright. Even search results aren't static. Try Googling something obscure, and depending on your region or device, you might get a completely different version of reality. And here's where things get weirder. When enough time passes, those versions, they become the only versions. What the internet shows you becomes what actually happened. This isn't conspiracy, it's automation. Algorithms don't care about truth, they care about engagement. If a slightly different version of a video performs better, guess which one survives? We're seeing the rise of what researchers call algorithmic amnesia, where digital platforms reshape our memories by quietly rewriting content to fit what's trending now. Case in point, Ali and AJ's potential breakup song. The track was known for its teen-friendly angst and iconic line, "It took too long, it took too long, it took too long for you to call back." But the most remembered lyric, "It's my birthday, so what's the deal?" followed by "Stupid Birthday." That version played non-stop on Radio Disney and MTV. But now, go check their channel today. The version up there is the 2020 re-release, with explicit lyrics like "It's my bleep birthday." No edits, no disclaimers, just the new official version. So, maybe it's not that we're remembering incorrectly, maybe we're remembering the first draft. And the current internet, it's running the rewrite. Okay, this one hits hard, because let's be honest, none of us can actually remember anything without Googling it first. Our brains outsource memory to the cloud, and now the cloud's got creative control. I once tried to find an old viral video I loved, Gautier's "Somebody That I Used to Know," but it's gone. There's a new version, same title, totally different tone. Some fans claim the video looks different, but there's no confirmed alternate version. It's like the internet ran a vibe check and decided to rewrite history for better click-throughs. And if you think that's dramatic, try finding unchanged lyrics to a song from 2020. It's like trying to catch smoke. So yeah, this isn't a memory problem, it's a metadata problem. Reality isn't being stored, it's being versioned. Coming up next, what if it's not the internet that's glitching, but our brains? Are we experiencing global memory drift? Let's talk about your brain, or more specifically, what the last few years might have done to it. Since 2020, researchers have reported a dramatic rise in what they call global cognitive dissonance. That's a fancy way of saying a lot of us feel foggy, forgetful, or like we're not quite synced up with reality. And no, it's not just burnout. Some studies suggest that stress and prolonged isolation may influence how we perceive time and stored memories. These effects are still being researched, and this segment reflects theories under discussion, not clinical advice. Translation: we're not just tired, our brains might be subtly rewired. Here's where it gets weird. Starting around 2021, online communities began noticing a sharp spike in new Mandela effects. False memories were spreading faster, details more vivid, the certainty unshakable. So, what if these weren't just psychological side effects? This isn't supported by scientific consensus, but some communities speculate there's a fringe theory emerging online that global trauma, when experienced collectively, acts as a reality tremor, a disturbance in the shared mental timeline. You know how trauma can mess with your individual memory? Imagine that, but scaled up to billions of people. Our entire civilization dealing with time distortion, memory erosion, and possibly bleed through from alternate versions of reality. Wild, right? Let's go deeper. Some believe mass events, wars, pandemics, disasters don't just change the world, they crack the walls between worlds. And in those cracks, little fragments of other timelines might leak through. Maybe that's why your friend remembers a celebrity dying in 2022 and you swear it was 2020. Maybe it wasn't just a slip of the mind, maybe it was a slip of the multiverse. Okay, so we're blaming memory glitches on a global brain fog now. Honestly, makes some sense. Now, if you've ever walked into a room and forgotten why you're there, imagine doing that for an entire year. Seriously though, if we all went through the same disorientating time warp together, it wouldn't be that surprising if our memories got a little scrambled. Add in isolation, stress, doom scrolling, and the fact that Tuesday stopped meaning anything. Yeah, memory drift was inevitable. But here's the twist. What if that drift actually opened something up? Like if reality was a software program, 2020 was the forced update that glitched the UI. And now we're all living in patch notes. Synthetic nostalgia, false memories of the things that never existed. Ever get hit with that wave of nostalgia for something you never actually experienced? Welcome to synthetic nostalgia, the feeling that you missed something that never existed. It started as a meme. A TikTok video called 90s Kids Remember This featured a montage of old commercials and joy jingles. Except none of them were real. They were AI-generated fakes. The snacks, the taglines, even the VHS fuzz on the footage, completely fabricated. But people still remembered them. They commented things like, "I loved this cereal. OMG, I totally had that plushie." Well, no, you didn't. No one did. But the memory felt real anyway. Now, digital artists are now creating entire eras of fake pop culture. Shows that never aired, ads that never ran. Characters that never existed but somehow feel familiar. Case in point, a now viral fictional snack called Choco Comets, a chocolatey 90s treat with neon packaging and a commercial that looks straight out of 1993. Thousands swore they remembered it. Spoiler, Choco Comets? It was made by an AI art generator as a joke. Here's the kicker. Neuroscience backs this up. The brain doesn't always distinguish between authentic memory and highly evocative imagery. If something triggers the right emotion, sound, or aesthetic, your mind might file it under childhood memory, even if it's a total fabrication. This has led to a theory that nostalgia is hackable, that AI or even savvy marketeers can plant emotionally charged memories into our minds. The implications? Wild. Could this be used to manipulate collective sentiment, fabricate fake good old days, convince you that a brand, a product, or an entire decade you never lived through was actually your favorite? If memory can be manufactured, then nostalgia becomes a tool, a retroactive editing system for the human timeline. And like all tools, it can be used for art or for control. Oh, this one messes with your head. We're not just talking about remembering wrong, we're talking about full-blown emotional memory implants. Your brain lights up like, oh yeah, that commercial totally aired during Saturday morning cartoons. Meanwhile, AI is like, ha 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 ha, made you feel something. It's genius and also terrifying. Now, if we can fake nostalgia that easily, what else can be backdated into our past? What's next? Memories of vacations we never took, pets we never had. At this point, the line between real and real feeling is so blurry, I'm just going to trust my fridge magnets. They never lie. The glitch watchers are people creating Mandela effects on purpose. What if the Mandela effect isn't just something we observe? What if someone's making them? Welcome to the world of glitch watchers, a growing network of creators, researchers, and trolls, let's be honest, who are experimenting with false memories on purpose. You've got subreddits like rFake History, Discord servers with entire fabricated timelines, and yes, YouTubers uploading lost VHS tapes of cartoons that never aired, complete with fake commercials, fuzzy analog noise, and even fake Wikipedia entries to back it up. The goal? To test how easy it is to implant memories into the collective consciousness. And it's working. Remember that creepy 1980s public service announcement about the kid who disappears into a glowing doorway? You know, the one with the distorted synth music and a voiceover that said, "Time is the enemy." Well, no, you don't, because that public service announcement never existed, but hundreds of people claim they saw it. Some are calling this new wave of manipulation reality gaming. Others think it's something more dangerous, an attempt to gamify memory itself. ARGs, alternate reality games, like the Mandela Catalogue and The Sun Vanished, deliberately blur the line between fiction, truth, memory, and myth. YouTube horror channels build entire mythologies that feel real, and for some, become real. There's even talk that some creators are embedding subliminal cues, images, sounds, symbols, designed to stick in your brain like an echo. The goal? To generate retroactive memories. Is it art? Is it a social experiment? Or is it a digital age form of mass hypnosis? The scary part, if enough people believe in a false memory, how different is that from it being real? In a world where memory is a playground and you're not sure what you actually remember, truth becomes slippery. And in the hands of the right or wrong people, that's a very powerful tool. Okay, this one gives me goosebumps because on one hand, amazing, it's like performance art meets collective hallucination. But on the other, it's like a reality prank at scale. It's like the internet looked at the Mandela effect and went, yes, we can do better than this. And now we've got Gen Z casually reverse engineering reality from their basements. Love that for us. But honestly, if people can create false memories at scale and they're doing it on purpose, that raises one giant question. How many of our memories were planted? Like, did I really watch that school PSA where the moon winked at me, or is that just an ARG promo? And if memory is programmable, then who's got the keyboard? When the internet becomes the timeline. Once upon a time, if you wanted to prove something happened, you'd go to the library. Now, you go to Google, or Reddit, or TikTok, or wherever the algorithm leads you. And that might be the most dangerous Mandela effect of all. Because the internet has become the timeline, it's where we check if our memories are real. It's where we archive our lives. It's how we know what actually happened. And yet, the internet is editable. Wikipedia changes daily. YouTube videos get pulled, re-uploaded, and re-edited. Archive.org deletes data. Google search results shift over time. AI-written articles overwrite facts with fiction. Deepfakes can potentially alter perceptions of past events, raising questions about authenticity. And synthetic voices could change the past. What happens when the thing we trust to verify reality is the very thing reshaping it? Already we've seen historical clips altered by copyright bots, news headlines retroactively edited, entire communities wiped from platforms. If you search for something and it's not there, did it even happen? Even worse, AI is now curating your search experience, meaning your version of the truth might not even match mine. You could be in timeline A, while I'm trapped in timeline B, and we'd never know. This is what some researchers are calling consensual reality fracturing, when the public no longer agrees on what's real, not because of disagreement, but because of customized information streams. Realities become fragmented, personalized, editable like a Google Doc, where someone else always has suggesting mode turned on. So here's the final question. If your memory is glitchy and the digital record is malleable and your search results are curated, then what's real? And more importantly, who gets to decide? Okay, this is the part where I go and stare at a tree for 2 hours to remember what the real world smells like. Because yeah, if we rely on the internet as the authority on reality, but the internet is editable, we're basically building a memory palace made out of jello. And what's really trippy is that none of this is science fiction, it's already happening. Wikipedia says something, it becomes canon. A YouTube clip goes missing, the past changes. Google autocomplete can literally overwrite your curiosity before you've even finished typing. It's like the collective brain of the internet got hacked and we handed over the password. So maybe it's time we start backing up our own brains, like in a notebook with a pen. Remember those? The reality blueprint. Reality isn't slipping, it's under construction. Not by time travelers, not by particle colliders or wormholes or multiversal collisions, but by us. With every meme, every AI prompt, every nostalgic remix of a decade we barely lived through. We're not just documenting culture, we're scripting it. The Mandela Effect is no longer about cereal boxes and cartoon quotes. It's about consensual reality and how fragile it really is. Maybe we never needed a glitch in the Matrix. Maybe we just needed a few billion people with smartphones, bad memory, and access to AI tools that can invent the past. The real question isn't whether we're living in the original timeline, it's whether we even care anymore. Because if reality is open source, anyone can rewrite or remix it. So, ask yourself, what version of the timeline are you living in? And what version will you leave behind? Okay, for me, I've got several vivid Mandela effects. The strongest one being that Dolly, George's girlfriend in Moonraker, always wore braces, even though the official footage says otherwise. Now, remember, this video explores speculative ideas for entertainment and discussion. It's not intended as fact. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Please let me know in the comments below what videos you'd like to see next. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. It's free, and it really helps out our small channel. Okay, friends, until next time, stay curious.